Let's flip to the defensive side of the ball now, Connor. Devin Lloyd, a guy who absolutely balled out, second-team All-Pro honors this past season, 5 interceptions, fumble recovery, 6 tackles for losses. He allowed a 69.2 passer rating while in coverage last season. That's pretty incredible from a linebacker's viewpoint. Obviously, the Jags want to get him back, but it's tough with the contract he'll probably demand. The cap space, it just doesn't look great in Jacksonville right now. And Devin Lloyd's probably commanding around 18 to 20 million. That's the reports I've seen per year. My prediction for Devin Lloyd is the Carolina Panthers. I think they're a team that is starting to climb the ranks very slowly. They're in a great spot because they're not going to pay Bryce Young the absolute bag. This year, he proved he can do it, but not at a $40 million level. And I don't think he'll get to that point next season, which means you can spend and allocate a little bbit more money on defensive players, on defensive stars to bring them into a smaller market to play for you. And getting a middle linebacker, a guy at the center, at the central part of your defense who's proven to be great in coverage, who had a great year last year, I think that's huge. Now, there's been a lot of teams, a lot of rumors circulating, so I'm not sure if we're on the same page about the landing spot, but I do think Carolina is a place where it just seems like it fits. It meshes well. Devin Lloyd obviously resurrecting his career as well, his time in Jacksonville. He scored himself a huge deal for next year, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in Carolina with the Panthers.
Yeah, I love that fit. Actually, that wasn't even one of the teams that I was thinking, but I love the fit. I mean, a little bit of a tangent here, but there's all this conversation about how free agents don't go to Charlotte, to these small market teams in the NBA. Isn't it phenomenal in the NFL that someone like Devin Lloyd would go to the Panthers, which is considered a small market team? Enough about that tangent. Regardless, the teams that I had was Cincinnati, Dallas, and Washington. And the reason why Cincinnati, I mean, come on, Cincinnati's defense is awful. Will Paul Brown pay for it? No, because if you and me were the official podcasters for the Cincinnati Bengals, he'd make us pay for the mics and the headphones. That's how cheap the Bengals are. I think Dallas, I mean, with Logan, they're cutting Logan Wilson. They need anybody, especially in that defensive general type of position. Washington, Bobby Wagner gets 50 billion tackles a game, but he also lets up all these runs and passes. All the commentators oh my God, Bobby Wagner, he's amazing. When you look at the stats, yeah, he gets a lot of tackles, but that's all he really does. I think that Washington is another team that their defense really needs to amp up. Frankie Louvu wasn't the impact player that he was the first season, but Devin Lloyd, he's a phenomenal player. He's a 3-down linebacker. He can rush the passer. I mean, he can do everything he wanted. When he came out of Utah, he was that hybrid linebacker, super athletic freak prospect that the Jags took a flyer on. It didn't start well, and then in that contract year, I mean, he went nuclear. Remember that 99-yard pick six against Patrick Mahomes? I mean, that feels like a fever dream, a light year ago, but Devin Lloyd, one of my favorite players in this draft. You know what? I'm going to go bold here. I highly doubt this happens, but I'm going to go bold here. I'm going to say, since Joe Burrow walks into Cincinnati and says, pay Devin Lloyd, he'll restructure the contract, Cincinnati's got to get somebody in there. They have to get somebody in there on that defense. I hope they do it. You know what? That's my bold prediction. Cincinnati actually spends some money.
And it makes sense. It's the right fit. It's a defense that has been begging for help for years now, and Devin Lloyd is the move. But like you said, they're an organization that cheaped out on Hendrickson, and I mean, I guess for good reason. He didn't really have a great year there, and he's one of the top free agents as well. I'm not sure if we'll talk about him today, but they do need pieces on that defense. I'm just not sure if they spend the money, like you said.